What's up guys, this is Jasper from Amsterdam Vintage Watches and welcome to the first Q&A. So thank you all for all your questions that have been coming through to our special Facebook group and also via Instagram. And we've got a special and lovely guest over here.
Hi guys, I'm Wendy and I'm really happy to be here today to join you guys on this very first Q&A.
Wristwatch check for this very special episode. We're gonna start off with the lady.
Today I'm wearing a lovely Rolex Oyster Perpetual.
Beautiful watch from the 90s. Very elegant piece for any lady's wrist. Mine is a bit sturdier. It's an Omega Seamaster reference 165014. It's a beautiful watch and it's one of my very favorites. Let's get to the questions.
Okay, let's get started with the questions. The first question is from Mingwei. His question is, what's your view on vintage polishing? Is this a standard procedure for every watch that comes in the store? Good question.
Excellent question, Ming. Thank you very much. It isn't. So what we try to remain the really character of the vintage pieces, and we tend to not change anything in an optical way, only make a service on every movement, fully overhaul it, make sure it winds and works perfectly, yet aesthetically we try to not change anything. But when it comes down to either ladies watches or wristwatches, we prefer a little bit of polishing so it just looks very elegant, basically.
Okay. I hope that answers your question, Mingwei. Next question is from Ure Mar Stewart. And excuse me if I don't pronounce your name correctly, but we're trying our best. His question is Cat a Wiki trustworthy platform? Well, for the guys who don't know what Cat Wiki is, it's an online auction house. So what's your thought on that, Jasper?
Great question as well. Short answer is it isn't, and I'm gonna explain why. Cat Wiki is so diverse, you can sell anything. Therefore, they lack specialism. And I think it's very important to know your stuff before you buy over there. I know for a fact in my own, in our company, the stuff that doesn't add up to our high quality that we would like to bring to our customers, we sell it via Katawiki. And I know a lot of other people that dump their stuff that doesn't really feel right on that website. So I wouldn't recommend on buying on that website unless you're absolutely certain of your case.
So it's a little bit dodgy, so on your own risk. Next question is from Michael O'Connell. Can you show a behind the scenes video of the servicing and authentication you carry out on watches before you put them up for sale?
Very interesting, very interesting. I would love to, honestly. I can't do it right now, of course. We're working with a dozen watchmakers, actually, in my opinion, the best of Europe. And I would really like to show you guys how it's being done.
So it's actually a great idea and question.
Yeah, I think so. The authentication of the watch, I do it here by myself, and I use different sources. For example, the internet. Of course, we got a whole lot of books over here, and my own experience is very important as well. But we'll get back to that question, Michael O'Connell. I will show you a video behind the scenes of the watchmakers that are doing their job.
Next question is something that I personally can relate to. It's from Guus van Urk. His question is, what watches would you advise for people with small wrists?
Exactly. It really depends. If it's Guus sounds like a guy, so it really depends. If you're a gentleman, what's really nice size is 34 or 36 millimeters. In my opinion, that's the best size. Don't go too big. I have a small wrist myself as well, and for a tool watch or a chronograph you can go up to 38 or 40, but never past 40 millimeters. You have to look like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger to be able to carry a piece of 44 millimeters. However, especially the dress watches, I would recommend going slightly smaller, 33, 32 millimeters even.
And for ladies, just in case he was asking for his girlfriend?
Yeah, great question. I think it's, for ladies, it can be very dope to wear an oversized watch. It can look really tough.
Love it. Yeah.
But if you want to look elegant and if you prefer to be representative, I think a size like this is perfect. So it's 31, 29. Those are the sizes you ought to go for if you're a lady with small wrists.
Okay. Willem van Brecht is asking, what's the best way to find out the heritage of a vintage watch? I think that's a very common question that a lot of people have.
It is. So people sometimes buy the watches at our store and they want to know the backstory of the watch, a little bit of the history of the specific piece. And it's very unfortunate that we're not allowed to tell that to people due to the privacy of the sellers. But what's interesting, especially for military pieces or diving pieces, you can dig out the history a little bit, and not about the specific watch, but maybe just the model. You have to go online, you have to buy a book and just check out the history of the model of the watch. And to get a story on the specific watch, it's very rare, and it's unfortunately something that doesn't come around often. However, if it does have this, it's called provenance. It's really something that adds up to the value, not only emotional but also financially. So people tend to pay a little bit more if they know about the watch and where the watch has been.
And is this something that people can find out by bringing their watch to our store? Is that something that you can help them with?
I would be very happy, and my team would be very happy, if you have a certain watch. You can pass by the store, and we would like to tell you about the history of the specific model. That would be very fine for us to do. I love talking about watches, as you might know, to be honest. So definitely, you're all welcome to pass by the store.
And Roman Vilmuson is asking, is buying a watch with box and papers a good investment?
I was hoping for that question, Roman. Thank you so much. It is not.
What? I did not see that coming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So online they tend to create the tendency that people want to buy with box and papers, and it's cool if a watch has box and papers. But I think it's a very bad idea to pay 10 to 15 or maybe even 20% extra for the box and papers. Why? First of all, it's very often the box is and the papers are gone. Second of all, it's a very fraudulent business. So a lot of the box and papers are faked. And it's impossible to fake a watch, but it's very much possible to fake a paper, especially if it's worth 10K. People really try their best to fake it as good as they can. So the market at this point is being flooded with fake papers as well, and I think if you pay a 20% premium in 10 or 15 years, it will be maybe a 5% premium. So I think it's a very bad investment to buy with box and papers if you have to pay so much extra.
I think that's a tip that a lot of people can use. Steven from the Fane is asking, what has your preference, Sapphire or plexiglass?
Yes, great. Plexi is sexy, guys. Remember, please, the sound. I love it, really. Also, it has such a different feeling. Of course, Sapphire glass is slightly harder. It scratches a little bit less. Yet, if it scratches, you have to replace the glass. You'll end up with a bill of 200 euros for only the glass. If a plexiglass scratches, you can polish it and it's gone within seconds.
Can we make a hashtag of that? Plexi is sexy.
I think that's a pretty good hashtag.
That's a good hashtag, guys. Last question, and I think it's a really fun one. Michael Broomfield is asking how you come across these vintage beauties.
Michael, you want to know the tricks of the trade? I can't tell you too much, of course. But honestly, so we've been going for 30 years now, and I think we made quite a reputation at this point. So there are even a lot of people coming to the store, not only collectors and dealers, but also first owners, which is very nice. I love to buy from the first owner because I can hear the story firsthand of the watch. But besides that, I have a durably built relationship with collectors and dealers all around the world. They know what I've been looking for, and if they do have a piece that's maybe of my interest, they always text me, and I really make sure that I pay attention to the quality of the watch and the originality of the watch.
And the story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I hope I can answer your question in a decent way, Michael. I can't tell you everything about it, but this is all I can share for now.
If we tell you, we have to kill you.
Exactly.
Just kidding. So those were all the questions from our viewers today. I want to thank you guys for sending in the questions, and I really enjoyed being here, and thank you guys for having me.
Really appreciate submitting all the questions. Make sure if you have any more questions, please ask them and we will make a second Q&A. And I was wondering, Wendy, maybe you have another question.
Well, actually, I do. When is the best day to buy a vintage watch?
Great question. The best day to buy a vintage watch is today, guys.
Well, cheers to that.